Welcome to day 2 in our hot off the press week of Webisodes. Everything is brand new, and we have a brand new stamp set.
We do, and we love to make watercoloring easy.
Yes.
So we have easy watercolor butterflies.
See how those two go together? And we'll show you how to use it. Come play with us. And here is our brand new stamp set.
Yay,
now
easy. Go ahead.
Yeah, you may remember easy watercolor flowers.
But this is easy
Yes.
watercolor butterflies, 17 clear silicone stamps.
Yes.
Easy to do with, it's not even like a 3-step, it's as many or as few steps as you want.
Yeah, you can
really.
do it several different ways.
Right.
And on the back of the package, we'll show, does that look pretty? Just all of them all over?
It's beautiful.
And we have you have this guide, and it will show you which things can go together. Now, it's really up to you.
It is, but we'll talk about colored dots, so that when you see an image on here that's orange, there's an orange dot there, then look for the other images that have orange. Here's one, here's one, here's one, here's one. Anything that has orange, you can use this with this or not. They'll match up, or it is up to you. What I love about this is if we pull down and look at the top here, is it's not a perfectly matched little thing. I mean, it sort of goes in and out of the lines, and that's what makes it so easy. It looks like watercolor. It looks like this artistic process, but you did it with one stamp, and you're done. One stamp, one stamp, one stamp.
And what I love about the stamp set, of course, this is what we do. We make it a complete package. So you've got words and greetings on it. The other thing that's really kind of fun about this, you know, with watercolor, you'll sometimes get spatters.
Right.
Well, we've got stamps in here that will give you those spatters.
Does it for you.
It's just a little thing, but it's kind of nice. And we do have beautiful butterflies in several different sizes.
And some nice greetings on there. Spread beauty everywhere, wishing you a magical day and delivering smiles. It's so sweet.
Can't go wrong with any of those.
No.
So let me show you our first card. And this is really showing you the layering. So you can see that the black outline is done first.
That's right.
And then we go with the lightest color and the largest stamp second.
Or, and then sort of mix and match. It's sort of up to you how you want to do that. And you'll see different results, and I can actually show you that right now. Okay, so I've got my Misty here, which is great for layered stamping, but something I have to say, with these easy watercolor layered stamps, since you don't have to perfectly match up the edges, you can do it without the Misty. It will work that way too. I just loved using the Misty because it's just easy. So I stamped the first layer in black, and a nice dark black, because I really want it to pop low. You could do this in any color you want.
Now you stamped this on pattern paper.
I did.
So we'll get in just a little bit closer, just so you can see.
Just like the card. So go ahead and stamp
it. It's got text all over.
Yeah, get something to fill up your background like that. It makes a nice image. And then on the other side, I have the next stamp, which I looked at it and I found one of the orange dots to match that image, and it's an overall kind of a solid, but it's kind of sketchy, and you'll see that I've got pigment inks, and this is one of the purples. And,
purple set.
And let's see, we said
so
we were
want
going to use
light
a
color.
light color,
Right.
but I'm going to show you a little trick that whoever made this card, I can't remember now if it was Debbie or
it was Lene.
Okay, so I'm going to start with that light color all over. Now you could just stamp with this and do the next one, but Lene chose to use another color as well and sort of highlight the edges, and I'm going to use one of this to take. I don't want to sort of get this dirty, so add a little ink, and she chose to add this around to the edges. So we'll do that too. It makes a nice little highlight out there if you want to. That's kind of a fun effect. Pigment ink won't dry really quickly, so that's a nice feature of pigment ink. It'll just sort of stay that way until you stamp. It takes a little while to dry, so it's not going to dry on your stamp. And then we press it, and already you're going to see this beautiful look.
Wow.
Now let's get in close and look what that did. I did line it up a little bit before, but I'm not real concerned that it's not going to be exactly within those lines, and that's what I love about it.
And that's the look that watercolor provides.
It looks like a quick little watercolor look.
Now to make it darker in the
make it
center.
darker in the center, there are options. I kind of like this one. You choose another of the little orange dots, and I'm going to line it up. Where do I want it? Right about there. With my Misty, I pick that up, and then I'm going to ink that one darker still.
Right.
So that I'll have a really nice look right in the center. It's going to be nice and dark. And I may not have chosen the color that Lene did. I don't know. We'll see in just a moment.
But again, it's a forgiving process.
Right.
So,
and
voila.
a beautiful look.
How easy
now, if
is
I
that?
want to add some of those little spatters, I can do that too. Where do I want one? Maybe up here. At this point, I'd probably use a smaller little block to apply this, but it's what I have for now. But again, that's not going to work at all. I'm going to set it there, and I'm going to pick it up.
You were talking about using a block, weren't you?
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking of a block. So there we go. And then, so you can, if I had this on a little block, I would just stamp that and go all over, and you'd have nice little spatter marks.
Yeah.
And you know, it's a neat look. It's like, look, I did some watercoloring and I add some little spatters, and aren't I super cool?
Yes.
Okay.
Hold your head high, woman. So we've got the big one, and then in this case, two smaller ones were stamped and cut out, and you can see that the greeting is there, and just a really, really pretty card. On the inside, more of our butterflies wishing you a magical day. Isn't that just really, really nice?
It's beautiful. You handmade that, and it looks like, you know, it's something you can be proud of yourself with.
And how quickly that was done too. So easy, quick and foolproof.
Okay.
Now here is another version. In this case, we'll get in a little bit closer so you can see.
Okay, that outline.
Yeah, the outline was done in a color this time for the center.
In a little bit lighter color.
Yeah,
right.
And I love having the greeting over the image. I think that's a nice look.
So just make sure that the ink has dried, and then you're going to stamp that in black on top of it, or whatever color, and it's just beautiful. And then the ones out here were done in entirety, so you've got the outline and you've got those colors. Another one, something else I want to point out here before we move away, is if we look at one of these smaller ones, you don't have to absolutely do that outline first. If you want to, because you don't actually perfectly have to line these up, you can just stamp those background layers just like this, stamp the backgrounds, and then stamp the black on top. It'll work because it doesn't have to be perfectly layered.
On the inside of the card, we're just using them in black, so really sweet. I think this is Spice Market paper.
That looks right.
Really,
I love that. I love that look.
Isn't that pretty?
Just over the strip there.
Yeah, very, very nice. Now, we've shown you black, we've shown you colored. How about gold?
Ooh.
And I think this is one of my favorites. I think it's just beautiful.
And it's because it's got embossing powder.
Yes.
And again, so beautiful. So you can start with embossing powder here. Go ahead and stamp that with Versamark.
Right.
And then use gold embossing powders, and then just stamp right in on top of it, which is what Lene did with the pigment inks. Again, just beautiful colors.
How pretty is that? And we've got some dazzles. This is from, I think, the card greetings. And then on the inside, more of the same techniques that have been used.
Paper pack on this one. Buttercup?
Looks like it. Yes, it is Buttercup.
Yes.
Very good.
Our new, very beautiful, versatile paper pack.
Now, this is in the reds, the oranges, really pretty. Here is the gold, but this time with the blues and the purples, one of my favorite combinations.
So fun looks there. Lots of different ways of making, and I like that. One big focal, or you can put the butterflies all the way across your page.
Right, and having the greeting separate works really nicely. And this metallic paper is just really a special touch. It really, of course, reinforces the gold.
And you know, it's inexpensive, an inexpensive way to add a nice touch of gold. I love that.
It is, and isn't that beautiful? So this is just using the stamps as they are, not doing any watercolor.
And adding the little trail there off of, that was done separately, a little bit of spatter.
Okay,
so fun.
Nice. Now, so black, colored, and gold. So how about white?
Oh, cute.
Just to give you, know, a little touch of many different looks. This, of course, is a little note card,
Right.
Discovering Smiles.
And that's using white embossing powder on patterned paper. So this was done separately, but it was also stamped underneath as well. So even if you were to lift the wings a little bit, you can sort of see that outline there. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
I like that about that.
Okay.
And
Or if you
then-
decide to stamp it there and decide,
And
oh, I
just-
think I'm going to lift it.
Right.
And do it again.
Right, and then you've got the little swirls going across like a border, so
Yeah.
a really sweet little gift card.
Now, this is a very different look, and this is done with a different product, right?
Right, this is Distress Oxide inks. I really like this. I feel like this is kind of a vintage, kind of a woodsy feel, and
is.
that's what I like about it.
And this is on a center step card, and I do need to tell you that the center step cards has been one of the most popular, and we are limited to stock on hand. So
Okay.
that's what that very wonderful look
so
is.
let me just show you how Debbie created that one. What I like about the Distress Oxide is that when you're done using them, they leave, and they dry, they leave this a little bit of a chalky look, but
They do.
it doesn't come off on your fingers or anything. When I was talking about that center piece that you could stamp it first, here's where you're going to see that. So Debbie started by inking this first with, I think, fossilized amber. So we'll go just sort of
So
concentrating.
again, it's the lightest color.
Right, I'm going to concentrate it right in the middle, but again, she added color around the outside at the same time, and again, I'm going to use a sponge to do that separately, and you can see the gallery for the colors I'm using.
I was just going to ask you.
Oh, sure. Well, this one is, I think, peacock feathers, and the other
Okay.
one was fossilized amber. And so there we go.
So
Ready
doing
to
this in
stamp.
one swoop for the color, huh?
Yep, one fell swoop. Here we
Okay.
go, right on the center. And it sort of gives you this sketchy look
It
right away,
does,
which
very.
I think, okay, if you were to leave it just like that and stamp a greeting across there, absolutely beautiful.
No, I also noticed that you've got some green, some green with the yellow and the
Right.
blue kind of mixing there a
Right.
little bit.
Now, before you stamp the outline on here, there's one fun little step that makes this just more fun to play with. You can spritz it with a little water.
Oh, really?
Or you could spritz that stamp. Oh, come on, the spritzer. It's a little bit, not a lot of water, so I'm trying to get it to, oh, come on.
It worked a
There we
minute
go.
ago.
It did, I tested it. And
Okay.
all right, so I'm not getting it to spritz too much for you here. But when you do, you can sort of see it down here at the bottom. I'm trying to hold it really upright.
Oh,
so
it's
I
kind
can-
of bleeding a little bit.
a little bit. There we go. There we just, we're just hanging on the little spritzer. Come on, little spritzer.
This is really pathetic, you realize.
Okay, it's spritzing
There you
a
go.
little
It's
bit.
starting to move a bit.
Let's show the card, shall we?
Yes, let's move on.
It sort of gets it to bleed just a little
Okay,
bit,
little bit more.
so that you've got a little extra there. It's really a pretty look.
And then this has a brown for the
Right.
outline.
So just ink.
That's a different look.
Ink the outer edge all the way around. Spritz that with a little water if you have a spritzer that works.
Yes, right.
No, my spritzer works. It was just out of water.
You just need to
so-
put water in
right.
it.
And-
Okay.
And I think that's a really fun look.
And then on the inside, doing the same process with a smaller butterfly, as you can see. So
Right.
really sweet. And of course, adding dazzles because we do.
Sure.
And our last one is not using the outline at all, which I think is really interesting. And I don't know that I would have thought of this.
Okay, and watch this. Okay, I'm
You're
bringing
going to try this again, are you?
Again, this is Distress Oxide inks. This is so pretty. Wilted Violet. Now, she used a different color blue, which I didn't have handy. It's kind of a
Okay.
teal. I think it was also peacock feathers. Oh, that's why I didn't
Which you
have it.
have right there.
I do have. It's right there. But so I've stamped it anyway. I went ahead and stamped, but I stamped this time on watercolor paper.
Oh.
So this time the water really sorts of bleeds, and guess what? I filled
Let's
this
see.
up. I filled this up. Check it out.
Oh,
It's
see what
okay.
happens when you put water in the spritzer.
And look what it does. Look what it does. It just
Oh.
immediately starts to bleed, and as much water as you want to put on there, oh, this beautiful look that just sort of goes across the paper. I really like that look. I think that's really fun. And that's a part of those distress inks, and distress oxide inks are going to give you sort of a chalky look.
Okay, so this is on watercolor paper that's been spritzed.
It is, but I spritzed it a lot,
Yeah.
you know, just so you could really see
And
the
this is on
effect.
cardstock.
No, that's on watercolor
is it?
paper.
Okay.
That's why I did it.
And that's been stamped. So I think it's really a fun look using them without the outline. So you have several different ways to go.
By the way, if you get too much water on there, just blot
Just
it.
blot it,
And
yeah.
there we go. It still
You can
has a-
control this.
You can. There you go. And
Yeah, nice.
Beautiful.
There. Okay. So our stamp is our easy watercolor butterflies.
And you can see those beautiful looks that you can get with this.
Lots of different options. You can use everything in your stamping cache.
Right.
And
it's not fussy.
Yes.
It's easy. You don't
Yes.
have to worry about those little lines. So there you go.
Very special. Please join us tomorrow. We have no more brand new things from
Yay.
Hot Off the Press.